All right, Steelers Nation, let's talk about what really went down on that first fully padded practice at training camp. Because if you only saw the highlights, or maybe just read a few headlines, you might be missing the full story. The truth, it was a rough one for the offense. And not just your typical early camp rust kind of day. I'm talking about a full-on defensive showcase that left the offensive unit scrambling. Literally and figuratively, but let's break this down not from a place of panic, but with the kind of calm intensity that the Steelers themselves need to carry into the next practice. First things first, it was hot, it was heavy, and it was physical. You could see it on the players' faces. Pads were cracking, intensity was high, and you could just feel that extra edge in every rep. But despite all that energy, the offense couldn't really get things going. There was one bright moment, though, right at the beginning, in the 7 shots drill, which, for those who don't know, is basically a goal line competition between offense and defense. The offense managed to edge out a win for 2-3. And the highlight of that was a beautiful touch pass from Aaron Rodgers to DK Metcalf, who ran a razor-sharp route to the back of the end zone. That moment was clean, crisp, exactly what you want to see. But after that, man, things took a turn. From that point on, it felt like the defenders were everywhere. The guys in white jerseys looked like they were getting invaded by the guys in yellow. And that's not how it's supposed to go. You want competition. Sure, you want iron sharpening iron, but you also want some kind of balance. What we saw, that wasn't balance. That was domination from the defense. Every time the offense tried to get something going, a linebacker was crashing in. A defensive back was blowing up a screen, or a pass rush off the edge was collapsing. The pocket before anything could develop. Aaron Rodgers, for all his veteran savvy, was forced to move more than you'd like in a setting like this. He had a couple flashes, especially that early connection with Metcalf. But the pressure was coming fast. You don't hit the quarterback in these drills. But the plays are called dead when a would-be sack happens, and Mason Rudolph, to his credit, didn't pretend otherwise. He flat-out acknowledged the sack and just stopped the play. That's the kind of honesty you need in camp. Still, it doesn't change the fact that the offensive line was losing too many of those edge battles. Nick Herbig was a menace. Dude looked like he was shot out of a cannon on multiple snaps. He just exploded off the edge and ruined plays before they had a chance. One snap, he's in the backfield before the running back even finishes his handoff. Then you've got Joey Porter Jr. flying in with back-to-back tackles for loss on the far side line. One was on Caleb Johnson, the other on Jaylen Warren, and neither one had much of a chance. That's the kind of physicality and urgency that sets a tone for the whole defense, and trust me, it did. Now here's where it gets tricky. As much as you want to evaluate individual players during camp, when the entire unit is falling apart, it's tough to isolate performances. I wanted to watch more of Caleb Johnson. I wanted to see how they were mixing tight ends into the formations, how they were splitting out multiple wide receivers. None of that really happened, because the offense never had time to settle into a rhythm. It was just one broken play after another, and that's frustrating, especially when you're looking for progress, not just effort. But here's the thing, and this is important. This isn't doomsday. It's early, it's one padded practice, and if you look at training camps across the league, defenses almost always start hotter. It's a reaction-based system. Read and react. Meanwhile, offenses are out there trying to install timing, rhythm, chemistry. That stuff takes longer. So yes, it was lopsided, but it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. Let's get into some of the specifics, though, because that's where you start to see where adjustments need to be made. A lot of the problems came off the edge. Herbig off the edge, Porter off the edge, pressures, sacks, busted plays, all from the edges. So now the question becomes, how does the offense adapt? That's on Arthur Smith. That's on the coaching staff. That's on the players. You can keep more tight ends in for protection. You can shift the mindset to more blocking responsibilities. Fewer routes. You can start building in check down options and quick throws to neutralize the pass rush. All of that has to be part of the next step. And honestly, I'd be shocked if they didn't come out the next morning and immediately go after the defense. Get physical. Let them know, we saw what you did yesterday. We respect it, but we're here to. That's the mentality you want. That's the mentality this offense needs to embrace. Because right now, the only guy playing with that fire was Calvin Austin, and no offense to Austin, but your smallest receiver can't be the only one acting like he's got something to prove. If this offense wants to be physical, they need to bring that attitude. They need to hit back. That being said, There were still some moments worth noting. Rodgers, despite the chaos around him, had some nice throws. He missed one pretty badly, but the rest had good touch. He even used his legs a few times to escape the pocket, which you don't love seeing in a perfect world. But it's reassuring to know he still has that mobility when things break down. He didn't make a big play on the run, but he avoided disaster. That counts for something in camp. Jaylen Warren continues to be that guy. Even when things are breaking down, he finds ways to gain yards. And Caleb Johnson, there was one play that stood out. It didn't look like much at first. No hole up the middle. Looked like a loss. But then he just fell forward for about 5 yards. That's huge. That's exactly what this team has been missing for years. Second and short situations, not second and 9. Let your running backs fall forward and keep the offense moving. Austin, like I said, brought the energy. Metcalf had that early touchdown, and the offensive line. That was the hardest group to judge because so much of the pressure came from the outer edges. It's not fair to point fingers at the interior guys. In fact, Troy Fautanu stepped in and did well enough to earn a rare post-practice mention from Coach Tomlin. And that says something. So again, this is not panic time. Rodgers even admitted earlier in the day that he's still learning the offense. He's still leaning on teammates like Zach Frazier to help guide him through it. That kind of transparency is refreshing, but it also reinforces the point. This is a process. It takes time. Let them grow. Let them work. One bad day in pads isn't the end of the story. Now let's pivot a bit, because I want to touch on something interesting that came up later. This idea of whether going up against such an elite defense every day can actually hurt the offense's development, and it's a fair question. Think about it. If every rep is getting shut down into seconds because TJ Watt is doing TJ Watt things, you don't get the chance to develop second-level blocks or practice adjustments mid-play. It's like trying to run a race but getting tackled at the starting line every single time. But here's where the balance comes in. Yes, the offense might lose reps now, but in the long run, they're sharpening their tools against some of the best defenders in football. That matters. That changes you. You either grow from it or you get exposed. And you figure that out now, not when the games count. There was one rep that stood out. Simple man-to-man drill. DK Metcalf lined up against Joey Porter Jr. Clean release. One little extra move about 15 yards downfield, and boom, he's gone. Rodgers drops a dime. Metcalf snags it, walks in for 6. Porter, toast. And he'd been having a great day up to that point, but that's the kind of moment that makes you better. That's the kind of moment that forces you to level up or get left behind. That's where you see who's for real. On the flip side, Roman Wilson lined up for the same pattern, and Brandon Echols smothered him, just absolutely clamped him up. No space, no chance. Ball gets swatted out of bounds. And Echols lets out this primal scream like he just won the Super Bowl. That's the energy. That's the challenge. And now it's on Wilson to respond. Either you grow or you show you're not ready. And either way, the team learns something important. Because that's what camp is really about. Discovery. Who's ready to step up? Who needs more time? Who can hang? And when you're going against elite level talent every single snap, you learn those lessons a lot quicker. All right, let's continue unpacking this Steelers training camp experience because there's so much more beneath the surface than just what happens in one practice. After watching how the defense dominated early on and how the offense struggled to keep up, it's natural to wonder what all of this means moving forward. Does this mean the offense is doomed? Or does it mean the defense is just that good? Or maybe it's a bit of both. What we have to keep in mind is that training camp is a crucible, a place where raw talent, coaching adjustments, and mental toughness are tested simultaneously. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors are swirling in the NFL world as Trevor Lawrence was recently spotted arriving at the Pittsburgh Steelers headquarters, fueling speculation about a potential blockbuster signing that could shake up the league's quarterback landscape. This unexpected visit has sparked a wave of excitement and curiosity among fans and analysts alike, as Lawrence, widely regarded as one of the most promising young quarterbacks in the league, seems poised to embark on a new chapter in his career. The Steelers, known historically for their strong organizational culture and passionate fan base, appear to be making a serious push to revamp their offense by possibly securing Lawrence's services. Given his talent, youth, and the high expectations placed on him since being drafted first overall. The idea of Lawrence donning the black and gold jersey has sent ripples throughout the NFL community, hinting at a transformative move that could alter the Steelers' trajectory for years to come. The timing of this visit adds another layer of intrigue, coming at a moment when many teams are recalibrating their rosters and scouting for game-changing talent, suggesting that Pittsburgh might be positioning itself for a new era centered around this rising star. The potential acquisition of Trevor Lawrence by the Steelers has sparked widespread conjecture about the future of their current quarterback situation, as well as the strategic direction of the franchise. The Steelers have long been searching for a reliable leader under center since the retirement of their legendary quarterback, and the prospect of Lawrence stepping into that role has ignited considerable debate among experts. Some insiders speculate that this move could signify a major shakeup in the team's roster, possibly involving trades or releases to make room for Lawrence and build a competitive supporting cast around him. Others believe that Pittsburgh's front office sees Lawrence not just as a short-term fix, but as the cornerstone of a long-term rebuild, one that could elevate the team back into playoff contention and beyond. This visit might also be a calculated move by the Steelers to demonstrate their commitment to bold roster decisions, sending a message to the league that they are serious contenders willing to invest heavily in elite talent. Fans are already buzzing with anticipation, imagining the dynamic offense Lawrence could lead if this deal materializes. Speculation continues to mount regarding the financial and contractual details that might underpin a deal between Trevor Lawrence and the Steelers, as insiders suggest that negotiations could be intense and complex. The Steelers' salary cap situation and long-term planning will undoubtedly play crucial roles in determining whether this signing is feasible, especially given Lawrence's status as a high-profile quarterback with considerable market value. Rumors hint at a potentially lucrative contract offer, designed not only to attract Lawrence, but also to demonstrate the franchise's ambition and willingness to commit substantial resources to secure a player of his caliber. Meanwhile, there is chatter about how this potential deal could reshape the Steelers' recruitment strategy for offensive weapons and protectors, as they might look to surround Lawrence with top-tier talent to maximize his impact on the field. Analysts are weighing the risks and rewards of such a significant investment, debating how this move could affect the team's flexibility in future drafts and free agency periods. This evolving narrative keeps the football world on edge, awaiting official confirmation or denial while the rumor mill churns with every new piece of information. In addition to the immediate impact on the Steelers' organization, Trevor Lawrence's possible arrival raises questions about how this move could shift power dynamics within the NFL as a whole. Lawrence, who has shown flashes of brilliance and resilience in his young career, might find a perfect landing spot in Pittsburgh, where the coaching staff and fan base have high expectations for excellence and competitive spirit. Speculation abounds that this signing could intensify rivalries within the AFC North Division, particularly against teams like the Baltimore Ravens and Cincinnati Bengals, who also boast talented quarterbacks and aggressive offenses. The strategic implications of Lawrence joining the Steelers could ripple across the league, influencing other teams' off-season moves as they respond to this potential power shift. Additionally, the media spotlight on Pittsburgh would undoubtedly increase, adding pressure but also excitement around the franchise. This move could mark the beginning of a new era for both Lawrence and the Steelers, possibly reinvigorating the team's legacy and energizing their fan base in ways not seen in recent years. The anticipation surrounding this development only grows, making every unofficial update a focal point of NFL discussions nationwide. Lastly, the atmosphere around the Steelers' facility following Trevor Lawrence's visit has been rife with speculation about the timing and certainty of a deal, with insiders suggesting that all signs point toward an imminent announcement. Though nothing is confirmed yet, the buzz among players, staff, and fans indicates a shared hope that Lawrence's presence might herald the dawn of a new, exciting era in Pittsburgh football. There are rumors about how this signing could influence the Steelers' draft strategy, possibly shifting their focus toward offensive line reinforcements or skill position upgrades to complement Lawrence's skill set. Conversations among NFL circles also highlight how this move could be part of a broader strategy by the Steelers' management to reassert themselves as perennial contenders. In an increasingly competitive league, fans are already imagining the electrifying plays and leadership qualities Lawrence could bring to Heinz Field, fostering a renewed sense of optimism and enthusiasm for the upcoming seasons. Although official confirmation remains pending, the palpable excitement and growing anticipation suggest that the Pittsburgh Steelers may soon welcome a franchise quarterback who could define the team's future and alter the landscape of professional football for years to come. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.